My wife and I moved to Brooklyn in 2008. We had left Manhattan kind of kicking and screaming, but the economics of raising a family in Manhattan didn't really make a lot of sense for us. We needed more space. We moved here in 2008. When we got here initially, we weren't sure what to expect. And within about a week of moving here, we looked at each other and said, this is epic. After living here for a while, our radius of our community was maybe, let's say, 20 blocks, where we'd walk 20 blocks this way or 20 blocks that way. And the bicycle to me really became this mechanism to expand the radius of my community from 20 blocks to 40 blocks to 60 blocks, where we'd be finding new parks, new restaurants, new cafes, new art galleries. So it really expanded the radius of our community. And that to me is what a bicycle means. It's not about sport, it's not about bombing down a mountain. It's very much about learning and experiencing more in your community. I think initially it was finding out, like, how do we get a foundational operations in place? How do we fulfill orders? How do we become customer facing? And we had initially started on another e-commerce platform, and we moved to Shopify in, I believe, 2013. But really initially one of the challenges with the business was, how do we finance our growth? How do we pay for our growing inventory? How do we find partners that we think are suitable, that can take the time to understand our business, understand what our challenges are, and give us viable solutions that we can afford? We're not this multi-billion-dollar company where we can just throw a lot of money at it. We need to make sure that every dollar is very well spent. And then lastly, I think finding the right platforms to use. From an e-commerce platform to a mail platform to an ERP platform to an inventory management platform. And we need to make sure we found the right platforms that were the right platform for us in that particular stage of growth. Once we decided that we were going to move to the Shopify platform, the first challenge became, who's going to help us implement this? So we reached out to a lot of different partners, and one of our requirements, or a few of our requirements, were effectively someone who's done it before and has a good deal of experience. Someone who would take the time to understand us as a business, what made us unique, but also understood our challenges and wanted to take the time to offer solutions to those challenges that were right for us and the economics that we were bringing to the table. Out of the sandbox actually recommended Blend, so we decided which theme we were going with, and then as we dug deeper into it, we realized that there's a really natural fit for who we are, what we were trying to do, and some of the previous experience that Pete and the team have had. I think we had some initial parameters around what we wanted to do with the website, and we fed those to the team at Blend, and then Blend came back and said, this is excellent, but best practice, you should probably do it this way. So they would basically take our ideas and marry them with what is best practices for increasing your conversions, for incorporating some of your branding guidelines into the website. So they, again, I can't stress enough how they took such a tremendous amount of time to really understand who we are, what we were trying to do, and to really taking the time to dive into our branding guidelines, how we wanted to use our logo, what the colors were, what the particular fonts were that we wanted to use. And if we weren't using the right fonts, I believe in one instance, they recommended a more appropriate font for us. So it was really, they brought a lot of knowledge to the table. We had milestones along the way where we would check in and communicate with them. How are we doing? We'd see some screenshots. And then once we get the initial framework laid out, it was all hands on deck. So we were loading in our inventory, but every step of the way, we had a resource assigned to us who could help us answer questions, give us some guidance if we didn't know where to go or didn't know how to do a specific task. But then most importantly, just a level of confidence of knowing these guys have done this before. There's no issue or challenge that we're going to encounter that they haven't experienced. I think one of the best things about working with Blend was how easy it was. Going into this relationship sight unseen, it was sort of a blind date. We are new to a platform, we are new to the theme, and we are new to Blend. And Peter, along the way, did everything he possibly could to give us a level of confidence that, hey, Ryan, we've been here before, we've done this before, and we're going to have a successful implementation. And in the end, we very much did. The metrics speak for themselves. 2x conversion rate, 2x revenue. So a lot of the metrics that we track as an ongoing business we saw tremendous increases. We look at our e-commerce platform as being a never-ending journey too. So it's constantly improving. How do we redesign? Let's look at the different points of data. When we look at that data, how do we implement and make this site easier to use, make it flow a little bit more smoothly, a little bit more seamlessly, give the customers a stronger funnel so when they're looking for something, it's easier to find. And I think we're again going to lean on Blend for a lot of their experiences and implementing that with other customers. Yeah. We're continuing to grow as a brand. I mean, from where we were in 2011 till now, it's been massive growth. We're continuing to grow, and I think all along the way, we're going to see Blend as our partner for that. I wouldn't have any hesitation recommending them to anybody else.